And we're live back again. What is good, YouTube? This is your boys again from Unapologetically Men, the dynamic duo. You know who it is. Your boy Max, aka Maximilian. And I got the co-host with me tonight.
Lando's up in the building. We up in here sipping Coronas.
Right, dude. I got my Corona. You got your Corona. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
So tonight we're talking about emotional tampons. You know
Yep.
what that means. You know what it means. You know you got that one chick that's in your friend list that you may or may not even be trying to smash. She though likes to speak to you. Point her out. Look at her right now. She's the one that likes to speak to you about her boyfriend doing this to her, being bad to her, and just pouring all her feelings into you. Mr. Lando, how you feel about when bitches do that?
Man, when it comes to these bitches, and that's what I have to refer to them because they're duplicitous. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Again, just to restate what an emotional tampon is, it's a man that subjects himself to being the shoulder for a woman to cry on when
Hmm.
she's coming with her bullshit about whatever guy she's dealing with. When she full well knows he just ain't for her benefit, but
Right.
she deals with the shit because it just stirs up her emotions.
Hmm.
And women are emotional creatures, so they thrive off the drama. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
And
And
that's what
so,
gets decided. That's what gets their pussy wet most oftentimes.
you.
You know, and when shit goes south and when they're not getting what they want out of this fucked up deal, they want to go to the beta male or the nice guy or whoever
Hmm.
basically is going to fulfill their narcissistic need to give them attention when the main dude that
Damn,
they
hold on a second. My bad. I'm getting some feedback on. There we go. Sorry about that, bro.
yeah, when
Go
the
ahead.
main dude is not giving them the specific attention they want, they got this dude on the side that's going to be like, oh, if I show her how much of a better quality guy I am, maybe I might get in the door.
Right.
And never the case.
Right. So he's putting himself in the friend zone in order to try and get in.
Right, right, right.
So
I
he.
mean, I mean, I'm not trying to say being a decent gentleman is a bad thing. I'm just saying it doesn't get you anywhere if you're trying to get laid,
Hmm.
you know,
Right. Right.
or even not even trying to get laid. I mean, if you're one of those people that are stuck on the plantation and believe that dreams do come true when it comes to
Hmm.
falling in love,
Hmm.
um, yeah, is that's not going to get you where you need to be. You
Right.
you have to cater to a woman's emotions and pretty much develop the talent on how to manipulate those things. I mean, for
Right.
lack
You
of
got to.
a better term.
Right. You got to learn how to push those buttons on her in
Mhm.
order to mess with her like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, just giving some prime examples. You can even make it well aware that you're not in it to hear her speak about, another guy,
Hmm.
and she will still try and do it to you anyway. Like they try to force you
Oh,
into
because
the
it's a
friend zone.
control thing. They want to control the frame. You
Yeah.
know, so it's like if a woman, if first start with observation.
Hmm.
When you're dealing with a woman, the first thing she passively tries to introduce into the communication is what her standards are. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
that's her way of telling you this is the colors you're allowed to color within, or the lines that you're allowed to color within
Dude.
with me. But if you
So
come
true.
back with your own,
Yep.
she instantly gets disarmed because a woman is not used to hearing a man saying, this is what I'm okay with. This is what I'm here for.
Yep.
What are you here for?
Yep.
You're calling her bluff
Yeah.
right out the door.
Right. And you know what? And you know what? That I actually had that most recent experience. It's like I'm trying to holler at this chick, right?
Hmm.
And and she's like, "Oh, I just want to let you know I'm talking to this other guy." I'm like, "Okay, cool, whatever." And so she's trying to tell me, but we can talk and not be on a kind of a sexual level. I said,
Hmm.
I told her, I said, baby, if you're gonna keep talking to me, I'm gonna throw some X-rated shit from at you from time to time. I was like, it's gonna happen. It's like, so you can take it or leave it. And so what she does, instead of addressing that, she continues to talk. So that gives you the
Yeah.
implication, that gives you the implication like she's okay, she's understanding that this is my standard. But then
Well,
she still tries to interject her emotional issues that she had with this other dude. And
I
I'm like,
look at it a little differently.
yeah.
If you state your side of things
Mhm.
and she goes okay and it continues to ramble,
Mhm.
that's a signifier that she didn't listen to anything you just said. She's more focused on what's coming out of her mouth and what she got to say.
Well, I mean, the rambling after that wasn't about, saying, wasn't about the dude. She didn't interject that again until maybe a day or two later.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? To try and stick it in there. And then I kind of ignored it, right?
Hmm.
And then she tried to do it again. So I'm like, okay, now this bitch is trying to test me. So it's either ghost them or reply back with and just basically reject them. So either way
Mm,
is rejecting them. Well, one's verbalizing it versus just straight up just ghosting the chick.
yeah.
So I mean, what do you think? What do you think these men should do in that type of situation? Because personally, I'm just gonna ghost her ass. But what do you think? What do you think as far as it might work differently for other dudes, but what do you think is your advice as far as to these men out here that have these type of chicks trying to basically force them into the friend zone and emotionally tampon the shit out of them?
My advice is just ignore them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, use it as a teachable moment and observe their behavior. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because you'll find that once you make it clear that you're not interested
Mhm.
in listening to their bullshit,
Mhm.
because they want you there as a one-way street.
Right.
I'm getting attention, and then when they're good, watch. I promise you, you won't hear from them.
Right. Exactly. When they're on the good streak with whatever they're fucking with, they don't talk to you. But as soon as like something goes bad, then they
Mhm.
want to hit you up.
I
So
mean,
that.
because back when I was blue pill,
Mhm.
man, I would have these long conversations with chicks on the phone, and I used to think that, man,
You were
we're
doing
really
something.
cool. I was thinking, man, she really respects my position and what I got to say and how I influence
Yeah.
her life. But really, what it is I was training her to be a better woman for another motherfucker that don't even appreciate her.
Exactly. Exactly.
And that's the
Exactly.
thing you don't want to end up. You never want to put yourself in a situation where you're training a bitch to be somebody else's bitch.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, don't even once you get to a certain age, you don't want to have to be teaching nobody anything.
Right.
You just it's like when you're hiring somebody to work a job. They supposed to be qualified before they start working. If they
Right.
don't, you don't need them there.
Right. And the only thing you need to be teaching them is what makes you, what pleases
Right.
you. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? That's the only
Exactly.
thing you need to be teaching them.
You ain't got time to be building no bitch.
Mm-mm. Don't
I
don't
mean,
play build a
seriously,
bitch.
don't waste your time with that.
Don't play don't play build a bitch. That's just a terrible. That's a terrible job. That's a terrible hobby to have. You can think of many more ways to handle that. But so if you got one of these chicks in your life right now, ghost they ass. Just like go ahead, don't even reply. Because you can pick it out already. You already know which one it is.
Hmm.
Let them go. Let them ghost. Get ghosted on them. Go
Yeah.
find some more chicks that ain't trying to.
If
They're not trying to talk to you about some other dude. Like
if
just let it
anything,
go.
if anything, ghost them hard and then let them come find you. Because
Yeah.
at that point, their system will be on reset, and then you can let them know what time it is.
Mm-hmm.
Then you disarm them by getting straight to the point. What are you talking to me for? Why are we friends?
Right.
Ask questions like that because that'll cut to the core of why they even exist in your world.
Right.
And then
And go
yeah,
ahead.
and then after that, they'll either pretty much you'll bring them into your frame or they'll disappear and you won't hear from them again. It's just
Right.
that.
Right. And don't think that you're losing out on something.
No, because the thing is, if anything, the main thing you got to lose is energy.
Yeah.
It's like when it comes to dealing with women, it's always an exchange of energy
Right.
because they're not trying to get to know you. They're trying to get to know how to read you.
Mm-hmm.
They're really sharp creatures of observation. So, with that being said, us as men, we have to learn how to develop that skill as well
Yeah.
for our benefit and for our defense.
Right.
You know,
Primarily for our defense.
oh yeah. I mean, eventually we're going to be doing this series. I don't know if Max told you about this at some point in time, but we're going to do a series entitled "Behind Enemy Lines."
Mm-hmm.
And Max, you want to tell them about that?
Yeah. So I've been pondering over this idea of a series called Behind Enemy Lines, and I've spoke about it in previous cast, and it's been some time to get to develop, just life is life getting in the way and shit like that, doing adult shit, and basically it's kind of like a just a series of interactions with women outside, outside in the real world, not online, like you getting out there and you have observed, women in natural environments, you know what I'm saying, whether it be at the grocery store, whether it be
Mhm.
at the bar, whether it be at the club. And so I'm going to be speaking from personal real count experiences of being out at the club and what I say to chicks when I'm out at the club. I'm gonna give you a short snippet of that right now. One night I was out at the club, had these two chicks next to me, and they were trying to get my attention. Like I sometimes I go out lone wolf style. You know what I'm saying? Like you can go out lone wolf style. It really attracts a lot of attention from females, especially if you took care of yourself. So I got these two chicks next to me, and they trying to get my attention. Well, I'm like, you gotta try a little harder than that. And so I basically ignore them until they eventually decide to touch my arm and grab me and pull me in. And one of them goes, "You're on our team." I was like, "I'm on your team." I was
Oh
like,
man,
"Okay."
they're being aggressive at that
Yeah,
point.
yeah. She's like, "You're on our team." I said, "What's that mean?" She's like, "You run with us. You can protect us." I was like, "Oh, okay." I said, "Who run this team?" The both of them pointed at me. I was like, "Okay, that's a good start." It's like you understand that the man runs the shit. And so then I started to think to myself, because these two chicks were not, not really attractive, like that I would be really attracted to. So it's like whatever. And so the one chick, I turned to her and I said, "Why should I be on your team?" And she goes, it's like she was just entitled to.
You disarmed her at that
Yeah,
point.
yeah. It's like she's just entitled to me being on her team. Like what? You have not given me an incentive to be on your
See,
team yet.
see, the thing about women is they're really short term. They don't think that far ahead. You
Yeah.
know, they think far ahead enough to their benefit, but they don't think
Hmm.
far enough ahead to where somebody got already got their number. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right, right,
It's like they went as soon as they met their match. It's like, oh man, they ran out of chess moves.
right. Exactly, exactly. So fast forward, right? The two, the I tell the one chick who I said, why should I be on her team? And she basically didn't really have a good answer. I said, I only protect the bitches I'm fucking. And then she points to her friend, right?
Oh,
She's like, "Oh, not me." Like I guess she was taken, right? She goes, "Not me, it's her." And she points to her friend. I'm like, "Okay, so she's down." I'm like, "Cool." And then I go about my business a little bit. I'm dancing or whatever. Next thing I know, I'm seeing other females come through the crowd, and they're hovering around. Bitches will put themselves in your space if they want your attention. So they come through the crowd. I got one group on the left that she just comes through the crowd. She stares at me. She stares me up and down, and then she starts dancing. She brings her other girlfriends in, and now I got this group of chicks in front of me. Then I got another group that just moved through the crowd, and they stop right there. And then the two chicks that was right next to me, the one chick asked me if what I was drinking. So I showed her my beer, and she goes, "All right, well, hold our spot," in which we were standing next to the stage. She's like, hold our spot. We'll be back." They leave. Well, the two chicks, not two, they were like three of them. the three chicks that were to my right,
Mm-hmm.
as soon as they left, they slid right in that spot. I was like, well, shit. I mean, I don't own the place, so and they look better than the two chicks that just left. Like these bitches just left, and these bitches just swoop right on in. Well, I gave them a little attention, but they wasn't popping it like I like. You know, they weren't dancing like I like. So I kind of just dismissed them. So they moved over to the right. And then another group of chicks come in and they're standing there dancing, whatever. So by that time, the two chicks that went to the bar came back. They came back with a beer, bro. They brought me a beer. So they brought me a beer. I'm like, okay, well, they have now one upped every last one of these bitches. So I was like, I'm gonna give them some attention, some more attention. So now I got the bitches that I rejected are over to the right of the two chicks that was next to me. They're over to the right. There's
Mm-hmm.
another group in front of, and, kind of to my
What about
9 o'clock.
what about those chicks that you was telling me about before? You was talking to one,
Hmm.
and then there was two chicks,
Hmm.
and then you were talking to them, and then one of them was saying something about some other chicks that was across the club.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Tell that one.
yeah. That's a different story where we were basically observing the other chick. This other chick, we had her go and introduce herself to another female, and basically she had to, we were playing a game of, you look around the room and you guess what people did for a living, and then like why they were there.
Right.
And she and sh
And this
so
point
I
to
picked out, right, I picked out this, like, these two chicks that were with me, they I just met. I went around the room and I picked out this other bad bitch, man. She was just sitting there and she was sexy as fuck. And the one, I asked her what she thought of her, and she basically just, she chopped her down. Like, she was just chopping her down left and right, and I was just like, damn, like, you negative as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Thinking to myself, like, yeah, you just
so
negative.
basically what you're saying is she was looking at a chick that looked better than her, so she started trying to devalue her.
Yeah, right, right. That's what she did. So, and at first we had not, uh introduced ourselves to those people that we went around the room and
Hmm.
made up stories about why they were there, until the one more intelligent chick, she told her, she's like, okay, now that you've made that assessment about her, you got to go over there and ask her what she really here for. Like, why? Like, you got to know what she really here about. I was like, oh shit, she just put you on the spot. So she did it like a trooper, though. She went over there like a trooper, and so me and the intelligent chick were just, we were watching her, and we were just reading body language, and she just spitting off all these different body languages that the girl who was prettier was doing. Like, she was crossing her legs and she was kind of leaned back and shouldered back. She was just analyzing that. Oh, she's just not into her. She's basically giving her the cold shoulder and like telling her to stop talking to her. And I was like, wow, dude.
So
Like,
what you realize from that interaction is
yeah,
basically how women in general will observe and read a man from a
right,
distance,
right. Oh
and
yeah.
and and it's like if you look at those tactics, you can learn how to pretty much enter a conversation with a woman, because 9 times out of 10, when you first meet a woman, she already has an image or an idea in her head on what she
Hmm.
wants for you from you, how fast she can get it, and if she and how much time she's willing to spend.
Right.
Now, for those of you just tuning in, we're just talking, giving a snippet of what we're trying to form a series called Behind Enemy Lines. Now,
Hmm.
by no means this is not PUA shit. This is just giving accounts of personal experiences and adventures of things that we've just observed. That's
Right.
it.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Because definitely, I'm definitely not a PUA. Like, for me, I would say, I'm a MGTOW for sure, but I'm a MGTOW who still interacts with women, because I believe that in order for us to understand them, we have to be amongst them. You know what I'm saying? So they're not, what I'm saying, they're not. It's just a colorful title, I thought of as in being behind enemy lines, but it's the acknowledge that we're going into the lion's den for you to give you the understanding of what women do in the out in the field. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right, right. Real
some
time
guys just
interaction.
check out. Some guys just check out completely. You know what I'm saying? They don't. You know, they go monk mode, which I do that shit too. Go monk mode. But at the same time, in order, because people evolve, right?
Mhm.
So the game changes. In
Yeah.
order for us to keep up with the game, though, we have to interact with the game. We have to observe the game.
For me, I interact with women, but
Hmm.
there's only so much energy I'm willing to invest in it
Hmm.
because it's like you know me, I'm on my grind. I've got multiple things that I'm doing behind the scenes,
Oh yeah, no
and,
doubt.
and I'm like a shark. A shark that doesn't swim forward drowns. You
Right.
can research that. That's a fact.
Absolutely.
So it's like if a woman is in my path, I'll give her enough time to explain herself, and then the bitch got to get out of my way.
Right. If she ain't
That's
trying to
about
ride,
it.
if she ain't trying to ride on your ride, gotta let it go.
Yeah, that's just me personally. I can't speak for anybody else. That's just how I roll.
Right.
And um, you know, I don't count the bodies I leave behind. For me, it's more about quality, and there's so little out there. You know what
Hmm.
I mean?
Dude, dude.
I am going to guard my seed
Like it's worth $1 million.
exactly.
Well, technically it's worth between 300 to 500,000 because that's how much it costs to raise children in this world.
At minimum. Yep. So if you
So
want 2 kids, you better have over $600,000 saved up if you want to
yes,
raise
sir.
them right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But yeah, that's just a snippet of the series that we're gonna start putting together. Working on. I don't know if we want to do it as a podcast or actually record it as a video and link it in. But our mo on this channel is mostly podcasts. Like we do live almost every show. Like we have a few that are that Mr. Lando put together.
Mhm.
Golf clap to him. Putting those videos for you guys up there. But we do most of our things on the podcast, and what you get is live. Like we always talk live, man. And
Yeah,
shit, you hear us.
this is rehearsed. We just kind of come
Yeah,
off stuff, and
absolutely.
sometimes we'll just spit stuff based off of some experience or things
Hmm.
we're just thinking about or conversations that we just had, whether it be
Right.
with each other or just other people.
Yeah,
So
and we have and me. I'll come up with some kind of philosophical fucking question, then we'll get to chopping it up over it.
right,
You know what I'm saying? Shit, turn that shit into a podcast and just talk about it. You feel me?
right,
So, but yeah,
right.
so you got anything else you want to add, Mr. Lando?
Man, nothing is coming to mind. I think well, we definitely covered tonight's topic about emotional tampons. And just to reiterate for those of you that might have just tuned in, if
Yeah.
you're not sure what an emotional tampon is, it's a term used towards men that put themselves in situations where they subject themselves to um a woman's ranting about whatever is on her mind
Mm-hmm.
for however long, but it's not reciprocated if you want to talk about what's going on in your life.
Yep.
She just wants to use you for like to complain about whoever she's fucking, whatever's going on her day. It doesn't matter. It's
Mm,
all about her. You do not want to end up being a woman's emotional tampon.
no. And what do you think about those dudes? And thank you for restating that definition. What do you think about those dudes who do you think it exists that a guy will be an emotional tampon just because he thinks that she needs some attention and he doesn't genuinely want to fuck her?
Well, you know what? That's a good question. I think that is a thing.
Mhm.
I think there are some guys who don't have any intentions of hooking up with a woman and will subject themselves to be used by like that
Why though? Like why like that is a lot of fucking time.
because I I'll bring in Billy Crystal for this one.
Hmm.
You remember that movie when Sally met Harry or
Oh
when
yeah,
Harry
the
met Sally?
classic.
So the thing was, the premise was why can't men and women be friends?
Hmm.
And the thing is because the sex always gets in the way. There's
Right.
always some amount of sexual tension between men and women, even if they say, oh, there's no no desire to hook up. But here's the thing: if you're quote unquote really good friends with a woman, and she looked at you and say, "Fuck me right here and now," how many guys would be like, "You're like a sister to me"?
Only the dudes who actually grew up with her as a sister. I'm
Yeah,
just gonna say
yeah. It's
I'm just
like,
gonna say 99% of the dudes that didn't would fuck her.
but that number is very small.
Yeah,
But there are some guys walking around that feel like, we really are just friends. But in the same token, she is never gonna be your platonic friend as much as she is a platonic friend with another woman.
right,
You know what I
right,
mean? The
right,
same the same way a guy is never gonna be platonic friends as much as he is with his homeboys.
right,
You know what I mean? That
right.
level of equal reciprocation does not exist in real life.
No, and here's the thing too is like it could be that way between the two of them, the man, the woman and the man.
That I'm just speaking
But
from my opinion.
right, but here's the thing is like when one of them gets a significant other,
Hmm.
that now becomes a threat because you're not going to be able to
Oh.
spend you're not going to be able to spend you're not going to be able to spend a significant amount of time with a friend of the opposite sex,
Hmm.
not have to defend that relationship
I
to
see
your
what you're saying.
spouse.
I see what you
So
saying. So what you're
you see
saying
what I'm saying?
so what you're saying is basically, say you got this girl who's like your home girl, right?
Yeah, right.
And then you get a girlfriend. She'll
Mm-hmm.
feel some type of way about that because now the attention is coming off of her. She's still a woman and
Yep.
she still desires attention.
Yep. Yep. So that is the other side of the whole not being able to be friends with a female.
Attention is the underlying factor, because here's the
Right.
thing, we boys, I'll
Hmm.
never desire your attention. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
There's never any time I'll be like, I'll call. I wonder what Max is doing. I need to talk
Mhm.
to Max. No.
Right. And we get here's the other thing is too. It's like amongst men,
Hmm.
we can go weeks or whatever without talking to each other, and then speak to each other, and it's like we just talked yesterday.
Yep.
So it doesn't happen when you do that with the female. They want attention, so they get attention.
I
If
think.
they got a man, then that might be okay. But like when you have when that other person has a significant other,
Uh huh.
they degrade your friendship because it will be perceived as her cheating or him cheating. So they cut back. Whereas if I got a woman and you my boy and you come over whatever and you spend time and we spend down kicking it and throwing beers back, she's never gonna think we're cheating or I'm cheating. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gay, so it's not gonna happen, right? But if I got a female friend, she gonna feel some type of way if I'm spending time with this other bitch,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. For
and that's
sure.
how she gonna perceive it. She's a bitch. Like, wait a minute, but she been my best friend. I don't care. She's a bitch. That's
Oh,
how they feel.
that actually reminds me of something.
Yeah.
There's this show on I got CBS All Access,
Hmm.
and there's a show, I don't know if it's continuing, but it's called God Friended Me.
Hmm.
And I've seen this episode where the dude, he's got this girlfriend and she's banging, right?
Hmm.
But then also he's got this girl that's like a really good friend. She thinks that there could be something between them because he's so friendly with her. You see where I'm going?
Yeah.
It's like he's the one, like she's the one that he comes to, kisses, loves on, spends money, right?
Right.
But if he sees him, if she, I'm getting tongue tied. If she sees him hugging another woman, that's too much for her to handle in her peripheral. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, wait a minute, who is this chick all over my territory? You know what I mean?
Right.
Women are that possessive.
Right. And
You know,
and yeah.
I know some guys might say, well, a guy would feel the same way about if his girl was getting hugged by some dude. But we're a little bit different. It's like if you see your girl hugging on a guy, it's a hug. But if you see him hugging in a certain way,
Yeah.
it changes the game.
Right. Right. Yeah.
You
You got to
know,
read that body language. Right.
yeah. So it's like we'll have enough patience and discernment to look at the body language, but with women, they're territorial enough. Man, I'm tongue tied again. To where it's like they don't want to see another woman like within 10 feet.
Right.
You know, like shoot, I remember when I was in a relationship. I was just sitting in mixed company with other people around me talking to this chick, and she said something that made me laugh, and my ex got triggered
I
because
triggered.
she got triggered because she don't make me laugh.
Oh damn.
You
Oh
see
damn.
what I'm
You
saying?
you done fucked up now, bro.
Yeah. It's like she never made me laugh because she isn't funny. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
She's not intellectual. And she
Very few women are
like,
funny.
do I have to worry about you? I'm like, what? Because I was talking to a chick that actually had an engaging conversation.
Right. She feels
So
threatened.
it only takes that much for a woman to feel threatened by another woman's presence, whether she's
Yep.
dating that dude or not.
Right. Right. Shit. Anyhow, all right, man. I think we gonna wrap this up. Again, we want to thank you guys for tuning in, staying with us, checking it out. We're gonna be back again next Monday, same time, same bat channel. But again, hit that like, comment, subscribe, bang the bell, man, and make sure you stay on top of it because YouTube is messing with MGTOW channels.
Oh,
They're fucking with it. So I
Google in general is doing stuff. I just want to add
yeah.
on before we
Before we check out, yeah, go ahead.
um I don't know how many people have a Google Plus account,
Hmm.
but I'm not sure how far this is actually going to reach when it comes to Google accounts in general. But they're talking about taking away Google Plus, or at least
Right,
people's personal accounts,
right,
and they say it's due to traffic or some other stuff.
yeah.
So
Some kind of low traffic count. Like I guess they're not getting, the traffic that they need to sustain it.
mm,
And but the wording, the wording on the Google Plus emails that they were sending out was make implying that they're going to use it for businesses only. Like it's just what I took from it.
it seems like a backdoor to try to trim the fat on certain content creators
Yeah.
that they don't want. Like a lot of the MGTOW channels have been demonetized. I'm talking about like big channels. You
Right.
know,
Right. Exactly.
one of the OG MGTOWs, Barbarossa. I'm not sure if he was ever monetized, but he definitely had a lot of subscribers.
Hmm.
And of course, his replicant fish
Hmm.
kind of weaning his way off of YouTube
Yeah.
because of that. Sandman is demonetized now. I heard
Right.
there's a lot of them.
Right. Right. So we just hanging them in. We gonna get through this. For our channel, it doesn't matter because we don't make our money from this. We have
Mhm.
regular lives, regular jobs, and shit like that. So,
Yeah,
uh,
we just
so
kind
we
of
just bring to you because we just like to speak. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
We like to chop it up.
uh, we're just trying to like just reach out to our fellow men. You know what I mean? Try to
Right.
develop more camaraderie because we understand too this MGTOW thing is worldwide, which is a
Yep.
surprise to a lot of people.
Right.
But you know, it's not a movement. It's a chosen ideology. Well, no, not even that. It's more like a philosophy. That's it.
Right. Personal philosophy. That's what I was about to say. Personal philosophy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, and it's cool that there are a lot of like men out there that are just more aware that they are the prize. It's
Right.
not the women that are the prize as we are because we're the ones that sustain society. We
Right. Right.
protect society. We build society.
Right. And I definitely want to add on to that MGTOW is definitely not a one shoe fits all kind of fucking
Mm-mm.
shit. Like they keep trying to push it that way that it's
Nope.
you all one way. It's like nope,
Nope.
MGTOW ain't that.
It ain't
MGTOW
got
is
nothing to do
completely.
with politics
Nope.
or any of that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
It's
right.
like your politics don't matter. You
Mm-mm.
know, your politics is just your politics. This is more about what are you doing to better your life, you know, to make your personal existence while you walk this earth a little bit more comfortable.
Right,
Because there are a lot of moments where it's going to be uncomfortable, especially in respect to dealing with women.
right, right.
You know, it's like they
Yeah.
can love you one day, but when the honeymoon feeling is over, they want to destroy you. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I
Oh boy.
got one more thing. We supposed to be off the air right now, but I just had this idea. I was thinking
Yeah.
like a movie idea. Now anybody can steal this and make it. I don't care. Wouldn't it be interesting to have a movie where it's this race of people
Hmm.
to where it's like it's two sexes, you know, man and woman,
Hmm.
and to build a society is a struggle because all of women hate the men and the men simply just are in high distrust of the women. But every
Hmm.
once in a while they come together to procreate because they have to.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like they live in two totally different factions, but they have to do this if they want to carry on as a species on this planet,
Damn.
right?
That, it was like a business meeting or some shit.
Right. You know,
Oh man.
or either they come together just for mutual cooperation to sustain. Like it's like the women they need the men because they got all the technology, right,
Hmm. Hmm.
and the understanding and the know-how, and then the women, um, or the men they need the women to make more men.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
So it's like that's like the only time they come together. It's like
At least they be doing it the fun way.
is this getting too close to real life already?
They be doing it the fun way at least. They know
Yeah.
none of that test tube baby shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I mean, it would be like a totally segregated society. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah. All right, but shit,
You know,
that'd be crazy. That'd be wild, man.
but the interesting part would be is this society wouldn't have war in it because it's like that would make the sustaining of the species even harder to maintain. It's bad
Mm.
enough that the men are like, stay away from them fucking women. You know what I mean? And the women are like, stay away from those fucking men.
Right, right. Shit. One of them is bound to be wrong.
Right, right.
Yeah. All right. Anyhow, we want to say thanks again, guys. So check again. Tune in next Monday. We'll be here. It's your boy Max, aka Maximilian, from Unapologetically Men, with my co-host.
Lando, and I'm out.
Peace.